It's taking its sweet time. Oh my God, we're live. Happy Independence Day. Oh my God. I'm so exhausted. I I was up, I kind of took a nap yesterday at like 8 p.m. And so I ended up waking up at like 1 in the morning. And I couldn't go to sleep. And so I started watching the news, and that was depressing. And then I watched the latest episode of And Just Like That, and that's depressing. And then I finally fell asleep, and I just woke up like an hour ago, and I'm just like, kind of want to go back to sleep. How about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, same thing. Except I didn't watch the news last night. I didn't watch Just Like That. In fact, I don't think we had the similar nights.
What did you do?
I watched this series called Rome on HBO Max.
I remember Rome. That's an old. Is that from the 90s or like the early 2000s? That was
like early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah. How deep into it are you?
I'm almost to the point where they might kill him. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. They might kill Caesar. And
spoilers.
Yeah. But I love it. It's like a really great, like in-depth, historically accurate, and it's also just told like great. Yeah, so I did that, and I did some yoga last night too, some vinyasa yoga, and yeah.
You seem very zen. Like I couldn't imagine in the middle of the night doing yoga.
No, I was at like 6:45, and then ended at 7. Yeah, like at night, it's a hit or miss, I think. Also, the yoga trainer is really attractive, so I waited until then too.
That's funny.
I was like, yeah, this is worth it. I also tried to go earlier in the afternoon at noon, but for some reason that got canceled. So I just stretched for a bit, and then I went to go try to fix my bike, because we got this place in Iowa City where you can fix your bike for free. You just got to do it yourself, and they teach you how to do it.
Is this like a bicycle, an electric bike, a motorbike?
This is a scooter. No, it's electric. It's a regular bike.
Okay.
If it was like a real like motorcycle, that would be awesome. But I don't ride motorcycles because they're dangerous. But that was closed too, so I might go do that later today. But I also am working later as well.
Fun. Well, I guess it is because today is a holiday, so this is like the perfect day to like work. So everyone will be like out and boozing and tipping.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think I told you yesterday I was invited to go up to Boston, but after being at Fire Island last week and taking the train to the ferries to this, and then you're walking, I was like, I can't this weekend. It's too much. It's absolutely too much. So I think I'm just gonna put together some posts and then like literally like zone out to Law and Order SVU for most of the day. I discovered, we'll talk about it offline, but it's so funny. I've really truly fallen down the rabbit hole with both this particular platform and all of the other platforms. And I'm really like starting to understand Meta's whole business suite. So we'll talk about that offline. So what else is going on this weekend? Anything exciting? Anything thrilling? Anything new?
No, not really. I'm just chilling. My family's gone. They're off in Milwaukee, and my mom's gonna go to Alaska, and my dad's gonna go to Florida. And what?
So random, like Alaska and Florida. It's like two, the North Pole and the South Pole.
Practically the same. I don't know what you're talking about, especially right now with the heat wave.
What's in Milwaukee? Who's in Milwaukee? Do you guys have family in Milwaukee?
Yeah, we got my uncle and my cousins up there.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're just staying up there with them, or not staying up there. I think they're getting a hotel and then just hanging out there, having a few beers and grilling out and finding some fireworks to watch. I've not been into watching fireworks lately. I'm
Yeah.
just sort of like, yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you see a fireworks display, you've really seen them all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might go up to the roof and watch them. I did that yesterday, or not yesterday, but last year there were a bunch of people on the roof, and I just kind of popped up, looked for like a minute, and then went back
Yeah.
downstairs and started watching Law and Order again.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
That's my go-to. Do you have a go-to show? Like, do you? Because like my television is always on, and it's usually like Law and Order SVU on, which actually I don't know, and I find the show so comforting and so smooth, and I don't know what that says about me, considering the topic
of
of the show.
death.
Do you watch
crime.
Law and Order? Have you ever watched Law and Order?
No.
SVU. Well, it's the sex crimes division, so it's like sex crimes, and I'm like, oh, this is so comforting. I know it's horrible, but
that's what the victim said. That their last words right there. Yeah.
Exactly. I think it'd be cool to be on Law and Order. I think it'd be fun to be like a corpse, because you're like, there's always like the dead body,
an emaciated corpse.
Yeah, like seriously.
We find you spread out.
But they always, you know, like they go into like the medical examiner's office, and there's like slabs of dead bodies, or like being the first person, like being the body that they find at the beginning of the show. Because the whole format of the show, it's like you and I are walking down the street and we're talking about like, yeah, well, here's what Simply Jordan's doing, and oh, we got to call Lisa about Nat King Cole, and then I look over and I say, hey, Carl, what's that? And you're like, what? What's what? I'm like, that over there. And you're like, I don't see anything. And I'm like, well, go and look. All right, hold on. And then you lift up the garbage bag, and there's a corpse. Dun dun. I think it'd be fun to be the corpse.
Be the corpse, yeah.
Yeah. You get your day's work, you get your day rate, and then you can go home.
Yes.
As far as
yes, I mean you can make a career out of doing that right there. There's a corpse in every single movie or a TV series at least once.
That would actually be kind of new. Go up. I think we found our goal for today.
Yeah.
So, exercise video, Charlie Chaplin remake, become a corpse in a movie.
Yes. It's
and
like
a TV show. Oh no, movie. I don't do the small screen.
You don't do the small screen. Oh, I was watching Hugh Grant talk about. I looked down when I look at, but now that's more like Charles. I was like looking down, and like it didn't think. He was talking about like how you look down on television shows and how as a lower form of art, but how he didn't realize how much money they would make him. You logged off. Are you getting the call? Did you forget to take it off airplane mode?
No,
because I'm just riffing right now.
You can't hear me?
I'm
here. La. Can you hear me?
He just left me here hanging. Okay. I got you.
I'm here.
Did you forget to take it off air?
I'm logging back in with my phone. Technology, man, is a bit.
Yes. It's a corpse.
There we go.
Better.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. Good. Well, here's what I'm going to take myself off the screen because I totally forgot. You said something when you couldn't hear me. Did I forget to take myself off of
airplane mode?
Airplane mode, or put myself on airplane mode. And you know what? I did. So we're going to do that right now. Hold on. Hold on. I hate to. There we go. Boom. Shake, shake, shake the room.
Yes.
So, what were we talking about?
Hugh Grant and making money.
Oh yeah, looking down on TV, but not realizing how much money TV people make.
Yes. Yeah, which is a lot.
It's really weird how it's changed because back like in the day, like especially when I was a little kid, it was very much that like you were either a movie star or a television star. If you started in television, you wanted to be a movie star, and like, but neither of the two ever, met, and they were looked at as like two different. Like TV stars were like, I mean, movie stars were like seen as the holy grail, and TV stars were seen as kind of like second tier. But it's funny, and I think it's really, I really think it's HBO is what did it, because HBO started making such great quality programming like Rome and The Sopranos, and then also like a lot of like really great um, movies that were made for HBO, like the Liberace movie, or like there's just tons of them that you started seeing movie stars saying, "Oh, this is really good quality work," and like what you said, Hugh Grant said, "Oh my God, you're going to pay me how much?" And I get residuals. I remember watching an interview with John Stamos, and he was lamenting the fact that movie stars were starting to do TV, because he said, because he's been a TV star his whole career, never really made them jump to movies, and he said, back in the day, movie stars didn't come and do TV, but now they call me in, and I'm up for a role against Matt Damon. Who the hell you think they're gonna hire?
That's what. Yeah, I'm just pulling up a picture of John Stamos right now, actually, just so we know who we're all talking about.
Everyone knows Uncle Jesse.
Full House, Big Shot, You. Oh, You. My mom is obsessed with that show right now.
I watched the first season. I thought it was really great. But then the second season, when they move it to Los Angeles, I couldn't get into it. Because like it wasn't the aesthetic, it wasn't as aesthetically dark, and like it felt like the tone was different. So I stopped watching after like the second episode of the second season. But that's going off the air now, isn't it? This is the final season, right?
I am not sure. It says 2018 to 2025, so maybe 2025 is the it.
Yeah, I think the current season is the final season.
I don't know. It felt more like when I was looking at it, it's more Netflix like spewing out more and more like television
just content just for the sake of spewing out content.
Yeah, like the last time, honestly, series that I really have been getting into, like I always rewatch the same series, which is like John Adams, which especially on the 4th of July would be very appropriate. He'll be the 2nd of July for the Independence Day. That's another great quality, well shot, well acted. Paul Giamatti did an amazing job in there.
He does great job at everything he does.
Yeah.
Did you see Billions? Did you watch Billions?
No, never watched.
Oh, gosh, you got to watch Billions. It's so good. Anyways,
what is he in that? Is he like a finance guy, or what is he?
He's the district attorney who's going after the finance guys.
Gotcha. Again, that sounds a bit more like definitely what he would do.
But his wife works at one of the hedge funds for the finance guy that's like he's like trying to take down. That's the fun conflict.
Oh, that's perfect. That makes for a lot of great TV right there.
And he's into BDSM.
Oh, of course he is. So he's like wearing a muzzle wherever he goes. He's got a mask on and he's carrying around a fogger and
sort of.
Yeah. He's underneath his suit. He's just got a gimp outfit, I guess.
Exactly. So John Adams.
Jane Asher. John Adams, yeah. It's with Paul Giamatti and Laura Linney doing a great, amazing job as usual. And the guy that plays Thomas Jefferson, I think he was also in. He plays King Baratheon in Game of Thrones. Not the main Baratheon, but the elder brother that goes. That's I can't remember his full name or anything like that, but he's in Game of Thrones. And I'm trying to think of the guy that plays George Washington is the same one that's in the tall guy in the Green Mile, the tall police officer.
Do you know I never saw The Green Mile.
You never saw it?
No, and I don't know how I missed it because I remember it came out and it was so good. Didn't they? I think Michael Clark Duncan got the Oscar for it, but for some reason, I never saw it. I think it's a really long movie, and I feel like I never saw it in the theaters. And then when it would come on cable, I never caught it from the beginning. It was always like in the middle, and so I just never saw it.
It's yeah, I don't know if it's that too terribly long. I enjoyed it, but
Right, but that's
yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan, and he's the prisoner, and Tom Hanks, right? Am I thinking of the right movie?
Michael Clark Duncan.
Big black guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Michael Douglas.
Tom Hanks, I think.
Oh, Tom Hanks. Yeah. Tom Hanks is in it. And I'm trying to think of the other guy from Babe the Pig. I can't think of his name, but he plays the Farmer Hoggett in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of, I get a lot of Shawshank Redemption vibes from it too.
Now that's one of those good movies. Like there are certain movies that no matter how many times I've seen it, if I happen to turn on the television and it's on, I'll continue watching it to the end. And that's one of my favorites. I don't know what it is about that movie that I love so much, and it's so good, but it's like I can just sit there and watch it over and over and over again.
It's just like a weird feel good. It's a chick flick for dudes.
That's the perfect explanation.
That's
what it is.
It's a bit feeling we're acknowledged in this movie. It's like what else on I think it's funny because like The Green Mile is also like who's the horror book writer? Who's the horror writer?
King?
Stephen King. It's like a Stephen King novel.
Okay. Well, a lot of his books aren't necessarily horror. They might be more because a lot of his stuff he does straight up horror, but a lot of his things I feel are more almost like character studies, and like the suspense is like in kind of like what's gonna happen, or is this person gonna do something like with that, as opposed to like straight up, I'm coming to kill you. But then he wrote a lot of stuff. He wrote a lot of stuff outside of his genre under a pseudonym. Bachman. Like, have you seen the trailer for the new Running Man with Glenn Powell?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a remake of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and it's a Stephen King book.
Wow.
Written under his. Oh, it's so fascinating. So the whole premise is, and I don't know how much they've changed it for the new movie, for the remake, but basically the whole premise is that it's like a live television game show. And basically, they take people who are prisoners and they hunt them. And if the prisoner doesn't get killed, he wins, and he wins his freedom.
Wow. So that's kind of like
well, it doesn't feel so far off anymore.
Hunger. Yeah. So, like, that's basically how our whole judicial system works, isn't it? Like, we're gonna be like, next thing you know, we're in the Hunger Games right now. Totally. Edgar Wright is directing this, and he did like that whole like Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver, Hot Fuzz.
Okay, yeah.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And the one I love and personally enjoy is Last Night in Soho.
I don't think it's.
You should definitely check it out.
What's that about? Who's in it?
It's got. I'm trying to look it up right now again.
Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? Is it a?
It's a drama. I'd say like it's a horror drama almost. It's in the horror genre. It's like a haunted like. It's got Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Matt Smith, who played the Doctor. And this was Diana Rigg's last performance. Oh,
okay. Oh, so it's like British Soho.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. God. Just trying to fix. I'm like, oh my God, there's like a haunted loft or something.
Yeah. It's a bunch of artsy people living in Soho, and they're trying to make ends meet. Yeah. So Thomas and Mackenzie basically plays this character who can see ghosts, and but every night she time travels back to the time of the '60s, so they get to see the Savoy. They see I think it's the Seville, sorry, the Seville and the theater and what it was like in its prime, and they even see like Cilla Black in the first um, few shots of that, and so I think Anya Taylor, but she sees everything through the eyes of Anya Taylor-Joy's character, who's supposed to be Diana Rigg, a younger version of Diana Rigg's character back in the '60s. And when she was tricked because she thought she was going to become like an actress, Matt Smith's character tricks her and she becomes a prostitute.
Eh,
Um,
half in one hand, six in the other.
yeah, exactly. Um, so I enjoy, but the music in it, I love the selection. So they got a lot of like '60s um, going off in there. Um, yeah, yeah, that's all I got for that movie. But yeah, I think you should check it out. But yeah, I like Rome, John Adams, and another TV series that I watch.
So I'm noticing the trend of historical dramas.
Yeah,
So
a
like
lot of that.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Oh, I love that movie. I actually love that movie. It's really good.
It's so interesting. Did you ever see that Winnie the Pooh? Because like they've been doing that, like taking like real things or taking like content that's fallen into
Horror.
into like that's fallen into public domain and
Yeah.
turned them into something. I remember seeing a trailer for like a horror Winnie the Pooh. Was that just just a trailer, or did they actually turn that into a film? Do you know?
I thought they did make Blood and Honey into a film. I think it's Blood and Honey.
It didn't do well, I don't think, but I think that they're doing a sequel anyways, or something like that. Now I gotta Google and find out.
Pooh and Honey. Oh, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah. That came out in 2023. But I feel like it's definitely not. It's like a Tubi movie.
Right. Well, go to. Are you on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
So go down because I feel like I remember reading that they were making like a sequel to it.
Let me take a look.
Now I kind of want to watch that. But too bad you can't do it. Kind of like the podcast. Like you can't watch it at like 1.5 times or twice the speed, so you can.
Yeah. It's just gonna be lagging the whole time. Let me put in sequel. Oh, it's already came out. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, 2024.
Wow.
They were right on top of that.
Yeah.
But they've also done like the same thing with Mickey Mouse and Thomas the Tank Engine.
I can't believe Thomas the Tank Engine is still on. So like I was with my friend's family last weekend, as I told you, and there were like a bunch of kids. There were like 4 kids, and like they're all really young, like 3 years old, 6 years old, and so the Netflix was always on children's stuff, and it's just so funny because children, I don't have any nieces or nephews or anything, and so I never watch any like children's programming, and I don't know any children's programming, but I saw like Thomas the Tank Engine is still on, and I thought that was really fascinating. But then there was this other one that was really weird. It's called Trash Truck. And literally, like, this kid's best friend is like a physical garbage truck. And then so he decides that they find they're like out in the field, and they find a music box. You open it up, and like the little ballerina's spinning, and so the trash truck decides the trash truck wants to learn how to be a ballet dancer. And the whole episode was about Trash Truck I keep saying trash truck because I don't know if it's he or she or they, and I don't want to misgender it. Her trash truck, trying to get the perfect pirouette on its wheel.
How is that going to do? Is it just sort of like doing a wheelie the whole time, like it's on one little?
Yeah, well, it kept trying. I regret to say that I didn't stay to find out exactly how it ended. But when I was
It's
watching,
spewing trash the whole
it kept
time.
falling and kept falling down and kept falling. I was like, okay. But the kids were like totally enamored with it.
Damn, that's entertainment right there.
There you go.
I remember watching. I grew up on a lot of like Between the Lions and Reading Rainbow and Caillou.
Caillou. I always thought that Caillou was like a cancer patient. Like, why was Caillou bald?
They just didn't have a budget for hair, I guess. Said, nah, this is easier to draw.
But Caillou was also a little asshole too, wasn't he?
What would he do?
I think because I've only seen a few episodes of it, but I feel like he was like really petulant and like was always really, really demanding about getting his way.
Really? So he was kind of like Dennis the Menace?
Yeah, well, Dennis the Menace was different because Dennis the Menace wasn't like, I want to do this. Dennis the Menace was, what'd you say?
It's not like he wasn't a menace. He was just a menace.
Right. Well, no, but what I mean is like, he wasn't like throwing tantrums. Dennis the Menace was just careless and didn't think things through. So it's like, ooh, this will be fun to play with this water hose. Meanwhile, not paying attention that he's like flooding Mr. Wilson's basement. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so he wasn't intentionally a pain. He just was a pain.
Yeah, true. Because he was just oblivious.
Yeah.
It was the cancer that really did stuff. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Just a bunch of balloons just went up behind me.
When you said cancer?
Yeah. Cancer.
The original Dennis the Menace from the 50s TV show just died not too long ago. I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. He and I had the same birthday. His name is Jay North. I used to love that. I used to watch that on Nick at Night when I was a kid all the time.
Died April 6, 2025.
God, it was that long ago?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Time's passing so quickly. Like, I'm gonna blink. I have a birthday coming up next month. And it's like, I'm gonna blink and it's gonna be here.
You're gonna blink and you're gonna be, what, 35?
33.
33, okay, gotcha. Gotcha, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, listen, let me get on to some of these posts. Mm-hmm. You have an awesome day. And yeah. You got anything else to do?
No. The only thing I was gonna add on to that series is on the series Between the Lions. There was an actress in there who I met that would work. She was Dr. Ruth Wertheimer.
Oh, Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Yes. And she was on the show, and she would be the therapist for there would be these big foam letters that would come into a room, and it's like, I can't pronounce myself. I can't say what I want to say. How do I say what I want to say? It's like, you take a deep breath and you go. How do you say? I'm thinking of a word like Auf Wiedersehen. something like that. Auf Wiedersehen. She had a wild life.
Yeah. You know, she was a sniper in World War II. And then I remember, like, she really got famous, like, when I was a kid. She used to have this radio show, a bunch of books, and a talk show all about sex. And it was just, she was just, you know, she's like 4'10", and she would just sit there, and it was like on TV, and she would just be very, you know, just very, very forthright and very, very, you know, well, when you put the condom on the shaft of his penis, you have to make sure that you da 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 da.
You have to make sure that it is lubricated with your
Exactly.
mouth.
Exactly. Literally, like that's literally what the show was. And yeah, she was cool. But she was old when she died. Wasn't she like 99? I feel like
She was old.
she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
old. But she lived a life. She totally lived a life. And I think because I remember reading her not her biography like book, but I just remember like reading like a very in-depth article that came out, when she died. And I feel like was she a professor as well? Like I feel like
She was the doctor.
she had her PhD. Was she a medical doctor? I don't think she was a medical doctor. I think she maybe
No.
a doctor of psychology. But I feel
Mhm.
like there was something else that she did that was the same way, like where she was like honored in academia. Like she was really, really fascinating.
Yeah, like
I don't
I wish I could have
understand,
asked her for some more advice.
right? Buy her book.
I did buy her book, but it was a children's book.
It was was it really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was the nature of this children's book?
Um,
Why
like,
are mommy
like,
why are mommy and daddy
how do you
wrestling?
put the hot dog in the bun? You put the mustard in there. You open the bun. You make sure your dog is nice and cooked. Use a lot of Crisco.
Oh my God. Well, on that note, God bless Ruth Westheimer and God bless America.
Yes.
We'll
Yes.
see you guys later. Don't forget to follow us here on Simply Jordan, right here on Facebook. And we'll chat with you guys next time.